Joe Biggs here with Infowars.com. Now last week we came out with a video called the ISIS beheading video fail. Got tons of views, but what we want to do is give you a more in-depth look at how you can create a video like this using the green screen, the chroma key, and some After Effects tricks as well. We don't have the funding that ISIS has. We don't have CIA backing. We don't have government backing. We go purely off of our listeners, our followers in the info war. So what we're going to do is go to Rob Dew inside the green screen area, and then we're going to go to Darren McBreen to talk about how he can make everything look way more realistic. And then another thing as well, we want to go ahead and say that we're not trying to make fun of what's going on over there in the Middle East. We know that ISIS is a real terrorist organization. They actually behead people. They're lining people up in the streets and shooting them dead. And our heart goes out to all those people who have been killed and the families that are still here. So all this is we're looking at it from a different aspect, saying that this is something that can be questioned, because after looking at the videos of the Johnny Jihad with the 2 Japanese hostages, there was some shady stuff. I mean, even Fox News is coming out and saying that. And then you have different people like the Daily Sheeple that are questioning it. And quite frankly, tons of people on Twitter think it's a pretty bogus video. And that's all we're looking at, is that aspect, not the fact that real people are being killed. That's a horrible thing. We're just looking at the technical aspects. So let's go to Rob Dew inside the green screen studio and take a more in-depth look.
Thanks, Joe. Now, right now we are on the set, which you can't even really tell because we haven't turned on any lights. This is our green screen setup we have here at Infowars.com, and I'm going to show you basically how they lit that terrorist ISIS video using the 2 Japanese prisoners. So first we're going to turn on the first light. Just over here we're going to put on our guy Richard, and you can see it's light here, dark here. Now we're going to put on the other light to get the same effect. And you can see dark here, light here, but they also had light in front of them. So we're going to put our third light on. This is basic 3-point lighting. And now you can see, and we can adjust the intensity of the light, but you can see there's still shadows on the left and right. Now, I doubt they were using the same lights that we're using. We're using these intelligent LED lights. They're LED panels. These are 50-watt panels, and that's a 100-watt panel there. But you can still see we got dark, light, and then dark, light, which would negate any evidence that they were shooting outside, which they would have you to believe from the video. And now let's cue the fan so we can get that going. And you can see how it's blowing the uniforms. So here we have our background. This is just on another source. This is a computer that runs into our TriCaster program. I imagine if these guys are CIA funded, they're probably using a better chroma key version than what we have, because we're actually supported by our listeners, not by the government or the CIA in this case. So here you can see it's brought up in source 6. This is our main screen of our guys. I'm actually going to pull them off, and you're going to see this is the desert scene again. And I can do all kinds of stuff. I can change the contrast of it. Okay, I can bring that back in. So you can do all kinds of stuff with that. Now we're going to bring in our guys, but I'm actually going to turn off our chroma key, and then I'm going to show you how that's done. Right there we bring it in. Boom. So there they are in a desert world. And you can see, we're going to bring this, let's see, let's bring, that's there and that's there. So you can see how, look, there you can see what's cut out and then bringing it in. You can just bring in the background. So then they could change this background. Now, you guys turn to the side a little bit. Yeah, turn this way for the side shot. And so we've got 2 different shots, and we'll shoot this, we'll record this on tape so you can see the difference between the 2, so we could show how you could actually make 2 different shots out of 1, or they could even have 2 cameras. And I think they were using 2 cameras at the same time with their pre-recorded message. And you can't tell if the guy's talking or not, so that could easily be pre-recorded. They could have a fan going. But most assuredly, these guys were not in a outside environment. They were doing it inside. And the big thing is you can't do this stuff without some technological know-how and some funding. And now, yes, ISIS does have funding. They get it from selling oil, other terrorist activities, they're looting, but they got their seed money from the CIA. But it also takes know-how to do this. You're not going to have the typical ISIS jihadi knowing how to come in here and set up a chroma key setting. I mean, we've got this system here, and it took us a few months to get this down pat. So they had to bring in experts, get people to work with them. Those experts probably from the CIA or some other entity that's working with these guys. So now we're going to show you how you can even chroma key this stuff and add drop shadows using After Effects.
All right, so here we are in the post-production phase. We are with Darren McBreen, InfoWars graphics expert. You see all of his videos, he does the stingers, he does all the cool graphics that we have here at InfoWars.com. Now tell us what it is we're working on now for the video.
Well, you guys just got through in front of the green screen. If you can get a closer look at this. I want to put some backgrounds. This is the background. This is the sand dunes background. And then I got some clouds. And what I do with the clouds, these clouds are going to move from left to right.
Oh, so you could actually add that in there.
It just so looks a little more believable, right? All right, so I pulled this footage into Adobe After Effects. I'm going to put a key light on here. And there you go. There's our background. See a lot of what they call chatter around the neck. We're going to get rid of that, but with a simple choker. And again, this is just really quickly done. The more time you spend on these things, the better it looks. And this is just to illustrate that the footage that you've seen of these beheadings, we're not saying that we're faked, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Definitely possible using green screen
technology. And thus far in the production phase, we're only 20 minutes into this, and we've already gotten this far.
Yep.
So imagine with CIA backing and tons of funds coming in, you know, they're going to be able to get this looking really good.
Absolutely. And, you know, here's another thing I did is I decided these guys, let's beat them up a little bit at their eyes. Gave them a little black eye there, so it looks like they've been roughed up a little bit. Again, to get it more realistic, there's more work to be done, but you can see just in a couple minutes. So we've even added some dust elements in the background, some clouds back here. And I think it's looking pretty good. Yeah, and it's all about lighting. You know, with the proper lighting, we could really, you know, make this even look more realistic. But you know, like we were saying, we don't know if that was a green screen or not, if these beheadings were faked. But you could tell by just a couple minutes on there.
Everyone's questioning it. So I mean, all we can do here is kind of analyze. All right, if they are faking it,
yeah,
this is how they would do it.
Yeah. I agree, and I question some of the shadows that we saw on the Japanese beheading videos. Just didn't look right to me. And once again, I'm not sure whether it was faked or not, but it certainly looks possible.